Both teams have been dealing with massive injuries. You see Deontay Lawson, the senior linebacker, firing up the Tide. For Wisconsin, the concern is quarterback. Let's say hello to Katie George.
Well, Tess, Danny O'Neil will make his second start for Wisconsin as Billy Edwards continues to rehab his left knee sprain. I asked O'Neil this week, what's the largest, most hostile crowd you played in front of? And he said it was last year at Boise State. And while Boise has an incredible environment, that stadium's capacity is 36,000. There's over 100,000 here at Bryant-Denny. O'Neil says he knows today is going to look and feel different. Good thing for him is starting center Jake Renfro makes his return today. He's been dealing with an undisclosed injury. He missed last game. There was a concerted effort to get him back so his veteran presence can be felt here today. Renfro told me pregame he feels great, which is good news. This is the first time Wisconsin has played an SEC road game since 1972, Tess.
Wow, Katie, and you mentioned the concern at center. They had snapping issues a week ago. Bama won the toss. They elected to defer. So Wisconsin will open up the game on offense, and Katie gave us the details as to what's going on at the quarterback position. Danny O'Neil gets the start. Last week, Jesse, he was 23 of 27, 283 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's the most yards ever by a Wisconsin starter in their debut. 3 touchdowns a week ago.
Yeah, he's next man up with the injury, obviously. He's not the biggest in the country, doesn't have the strongest arm, he's not the fastest, but he's got moxie, Joe, and he competes. And I think he's playing with lots of confidence. He started 11 games last year as a true freshman at San Diego State. And as you mentioned, broke the school record for most passing yards by a quarterback in his first start last week. He's going to need that confidence today.
O'Neil, first strike is complete, and it goes for 9 yards as he is able to connect with his tight end, Grant Steck. Impact Players brought to you by Fairfield by Marriott.
Well, Katie had mentioned Jake Renfro getting the start at center. Not 100%, but it's going to be critical. He's able to handle the crowd noise. Vinny Anthony is the go-to receiver outside for Danny O'Neil. LT Overton, D lineman's got to be able to get pressure for Alabama. And Deontay Lawson, coming off that ACL last year, has got to play well.
Second and short. And they'll keep it on the ground with Dylan Jones, who will have the first down for the Badgers.
And you know, Wisconsin wants to run the football inside against the banged-up Alabama defensive line. Their starting nose guard, Tim Keenan, out. The backup nose guard, Jeremiah Beeman, out for the year with a knee injury. So they're starting big number 90, London Simmons, only a true freshman. And with Wisconsin kind of getting back to a more ground and pound, pro-style physical rushing attack, they definitely want to try and run into the teeth of this Bama defense and see if they can wear them down.
London Simmons, the true freshman you mentioned, who gets the start for Bama. He had some very impressive moments in the fall scrimmages. Here's Danny O'Neil scrambling and sliding on first down.
Well, it's a good decision that time by Danny O'Neil. It's a little bit of an RPO that breaks down. Jan Zapier able to get some pressure along with James Smith. So just a good, quick decision by the true sophomore quarterback. It's not there. You see green grass in front of you. Just go get what you can get. You avoid the negative play. It's critical in this game, Joe. They're able to keep the offense on schedule.
Danny O'Neil breaking the huddle. Began the season as the backup quarterback. Stepped up when Billy Edwards was injured in week 1. Edwards, the transfer from Maryland, who they were set to go with. This is Kekahuna, who they love to get into space and try to get him the ball any way they can. Billy Edwards, we mentioned, transferred over from Maryland. There he is, sprained his knee in the opener. That was against Akron. He left that game in the second quarter.
Yeah, and pass rush right now. Without Billy Edwards on the field, Alabama's going to try to get after the backup quarterback on this critical third down. But pressure and getting after QBs, that's been the problem for Bama early this year, Joe. Only 1 sack on the season. These guys have got to step up and win their one-on-ones.
Third down and 4. O'Neil goes on the in-cut to Chris Brooks, who has the reception and just past midfield for a first down. A flag is down. We will check on that. Tim Barker from the SEC heads up this crew.
Pass interference. Offense, number 2. That's a 15-yard penalty. It is third down.
See those 2 receivers to that side, Jesse. It opens things up for Brooks.
Yeah, it was Kekahuna going downfield and actually getting a block on Damani Jackson right here before the slant comes underneath. And that's the illegal play by Wisconsin offensively. If that had been clean, that might have been a first down, but sets them back now in a big 3rd and long situation. And again, with Jake Renfro at center not being 100% healthy in this one, you know Alabama's going to try to do some stunts and twists in the inside of their defensive line, try to get some movement. They've got big James Smith lined up across from Renfro right now.
So after the penalty, it negates the would-be first down, makes for a 3rd and 19. O'Neal feeling pressure, and he is taken down and sacked. And that is the first sack of the season for the talented LT Overton.
He probably had his best game of his Alabama career against Wisconsin a year ago. He's going to win inside. The running back is going to try to get the block. He's able to beat the double team and get home and get the sack. We talked in the open. Alabama's stars have to be stars, and this is one of their biggest stars, LT Overton, getting a big sack.
Atticus Bertram's on to punt away. And it is a low line drive fielded at the 30 by Cole Adams. And with that, he is able to get a little bit of a return. And we will say hello to Ty Simpson. The whole nation saw the struggles against Florida State. But then last week against UL Monroe, 17 for 17 passing, which means he's 3 away from breaking the all-time Alabama record held by Mac Jones in 2020 of 19 consecutive completions.
That was a pretty good day. He's mobile. That's going to be critical, I think, in this game. The number 2 ranked dual-threat quarterback coming out of high school. We've seen early this season, he can extend plays, he can scramble, and he can create. Wisconsin has a really good pass rush. Speed coming off the edge. It's critical. I think Simpson's really good when plays break down.
Going to start the day on the ground with Kevin Riley. Remember, Jam Miller, the would-be starting Alabama running back, has been out so far this season.
Take a look at the Fairfield impact players. Christian Allegro, a middle linebacker, 6'5", 240, surveying that middle of the field. Ryan Williams back from injury is critical for Ty Simpson's success. And then Jeremy Bernard really has been Mr. Consistent. He's been the go-to guy, and they find a lot of different ways to get him touches in this offense.
Christian Allegro is an amazing football career path. We'll detail that in just a little bit. Flag comes in right at the snap. So there's some movement.
False start on the offense, number 80, 5-yard penalty. It is 2nd down.
The athletic tight end Josh Cuevas, who has 2 touchdown catches on the year, with the motion up front, be 2nd and 15.
Yeah, it was Ben Barton from Wisconsin who flinched a little bit right at the snap. Josh Cuevas saw that, and then he flinched, and he gets the penalty, now moving Alabama in the opposite direction.
Simpson to pass. And the completion streak continues as Kevin Riley takes it ahead.
All right, so now a 3rd and obvious passing situation from Alabama, and here's where you got to be careful because Wisconsin has some dudes coming off the edge that can get after you with speed. Mason Reiger on one side, Sebastian Cheeks on the other, and against these tackles, it's going to be a tall order for Alabama to keep Ty Simpson clean.
3rd down and 9. Simpson 18 for his last 18. Can he convert on 3rd and 9? Trying to keep the play alive. He's going to try to run for it, and he's going to be short of that line to gain as Tackett Curtis, the linebacker for the Badgers, runs him out.
And a big decision now coming for Kalen DeBoer, setting up 4th and short. You're just shy of midfield on your opening drive. What do you decide to do here? And it looks like Alabama's going to go for it, Joe. They're bringing out Richard Young, a big physical running back now, in a short yardage situation. Now he's coming back out, and you've got Kevin Riley, the freshman, going back in. So a little bit of a substitution issue at running back here. It'll be interesting to see what Bama decides to do.
This is a 4th down and 2 from their own 46. Riley motions back in, 4th and 2 on their opening drive. Simpson to pass for it. Trying to find an option on 4th and 2, and it's incomplete, as the intended target was Jeremy Bernard. So Ty Simpson falls 1 short of tying Mac Jones' completion record in Alabama football history. He just went 18 for 18 before the incompletion on what was a 4th and 2. It's a turnover on downs, and Wisconsin will take over on the plus side of the field when we come back to T-Town.
We're back in Tuscaloosa. Bama missed a big one on this last fourth down. Lottie Brooks in the slot running a corner route. Ty Simpson just never stuck with him. Started that way. There is nobody behind in the Wisconsin defense. That would have been an easy touchdown, and instead now Wisconsin takes over in Bama territory.
Yeah, that was the first time this season Bama hasn't scored a touchdown on their opening drive, but man, oh man, does the defense help out. Intercepted Alabama. It's Bray Hubbard with the pickoff.
A really nice job of Bray Hubbard this time, just watching the quarterback's eyes. He gets a bit of a jam on the Wisconsin tight end, and he's able to get into his zone drop. He's playing over here. He's watching back at the QB after the jam to get underneath the route and make this interception. Bray Hubbard, a former high school quarterback, had 3 picks at the end of last year when he started the last 6 games taking over for an injured Keon Sabb. He has made such a difference on this defense because of the takeaways, and that now the 5th turnover for Bama's defense early this year.
So Bama right back out there on the field offensively. Richard Young gets the carry as he goes ahead near the 40-yard line, tackled by Curtis. So the turnover on downs immediately wiped out with the interception.
Yeah, you got to give the defense so much credit in that situation, Joe, because in a sudden change situation like that, oftentimes defenses come on, you're on your heels, you're worried about a shot play. But give Bama defensively a lot of credit for just staying composed, and Bray Hubbard doing exactly what he's coached to do in that zone drop, making a massive play, giving it back to the Bama O.
2nd and 9. It's Young again, and that defensive front. We mentioned how good they are against the run. They have been outstanding. They've only had 1 rush allowed of 10+ yards coming into this game. That's number 1 in FBS.
Well, the defensive line is without question, I think, the strength of Wisconsin's defense. They can stop the run. They're big, athletic, physical. They're deep, but they can also get pressure on the quarterback with just 4 guys. And you're going to see a situation here on 3rd and long. Alabama's got to really be careful how they protect this, especially trying to help their right tackle, Wilkin Formby. You see right now Daniel Hill, their big running back, lined up to the right side potentially to give Chip help right here.
3rd down and 9. A-gap pressure gets picked up. Simpson downfield, and it gets it complete to Ryan Williams. Didn't play a week ago, was concussed late in the game against Florida State. They're so happy to have him back. What
a great job by Daniel Hill in blitz pickup. He's scanning all the way across to see where the blitz is coming from, and he finds it coming right into his kitchen with Tackett Curtis, and he just stones it at the line of scrimmage, and that allows Ty Simpson to step into that throw and complete to Ryan Williams.
24-yard reception by Ryan Williams. Now they work the other side as they get it to Jeremy Bernard and Jesse. Jeremy Bernard, that has been the go-to target early this season. 10 of his 11 receptions have gone for a first down or a touchdown coming into today.
On one side for Simpson, you got number 5, and then how nice is it to have Ryan Williams back on that last play, 3rd down. Really great job with the route running, being patient. He is an explosive play waiting to happen. He's so fast, he's sudden, he's got great body control. These are 2 guys that they just want to feed as often as possible in this game.
2nd and 5, short pitch to Riley with a blocker in front, but unable to keep his balance to take advantage of Gino Vandermark's block. Katie?
You know, Tess, Ryan Grubb said he met with Ryan Williams one-on-one while he was sidelined, and he challenged Williams on his preparation habits. Grubb said it had nothing to do with work ethic. It was more about being intentional with everything he does on the field, and Williams agreed. He needed to be more detailed in his play. An example would be looking the ball all the way in on a catch to secure it. Little details like that have a big impact on play and production, and Williams recognizes that.
Yeah, and Katie, the good news was even though he had 3 drops against Florida State, they threw his way 11 times. That's easily the most he's ever had in a game at Alabama. So they are featuring him early this year. They got to keep doing that.
3rd down and 2. Simpson sprint left. Gets it complete to Ryan Williams right on cue to move the chain.
Yeah, and it's a nice job of lining Ryan Williams up in the slot. Last year we saw him line up outside a lot more frequently, but this time on 3rd down in the slot, he's got some access and green grass to work with, and just a very easy read for Ty Simpson. Great job getting his shoulders turned. A little bit of a bobble. And again, drops were a problem against Florida State, but early in this first quarter now, 2 catches for number 2. That's a good sign for Bama's offense.
Simpson on first down gets the ball out quickly. This is Brooks. Lottie Brooks is a very good-looking true freshman.
And a really
receiver.
good job by Simpson that time at the line of scrimmage. You heard him saying, alert, alert. Ty Simpson changed the play at the line of scrimmage because of the coverage the defense was in. He knew he had an easy pitch and catch to Lottie Brooks. You see him touching the helmet, alert, alert. Receivers, linemen doing the same, so they're all on the same page. That's what you call a stick route to the outside. They can complete that in their sleep.
14-yard reception. Lottie Brooks. Riley made the first would-be tackler miss, and then worked his way for a couple of yards.
Man, tough sledding against this Wisconsin D-line. We've got a lot of 300-pound bodies right up there in the middle, and it's going to make it tough. Alabama's a physical offensive line, but they got their work cut out for them in this one. I think anytime you get down in this field position, around the 10-yard line going in, I think if you're Wisconsin, you got to be ready for Ty Simpson and his legs. Remember, very mobile, and this is a place that they like to get him going in the run game too.
Second and 8. Simpson going to try to do it on his own as he works it down to the 4-yard line. It'll be third down from there. Can get a first down at the 1-yard line.
It would be so big for Alabama to be able to pay this drive off, right? Obviously, you missed on fourth down really early. Your defense gets it right back to you, and now you're marching down the field, and you find yourself down here on the goal line. We talked about all these receivers and these weapons, and Jeremy Bernard and Ryan Williams. Josh Cuevas at tight end, also a guy that has 2 receiving touchdowns this year from the tight end spot. Right now lined up all the way down here at the bottom of the field.
Third and 3. Young straight ahead, and he is stopped. This outstanding run defense for Wisconsin now forcing another fourth down situation for Bama to consider.
You know, and you haven't seen enough from Alabama running the football to give you a lot of confidence that they can run this thing in anyway. The fact that you're playing a big physical front seven in Wisconsin doesn't give you a lot of confidence in that either. I think the fact that you're playing a young quarterback and Danny O'Neil who's just turned it over, you're playing at home, you're trying to seize momentum. I like this call, Joe, by Alabama to go for it here, but I think you got to throw it.
Here's your fourth down. 4th and 1 for Alabama. 11th play of the drive. They go with Bernard to the outside, and Bernard reaching for the pylon and has it. Jeremy Bernard with the touchdown run.
Taking a look here again, Jeremy Bernard was able to stretch this over. It looks like he absolutely did. He just showed you his speed getting to the outside there. The progressive pylon cam getting a really good look at this here. Oh yeah, ball crosses over with the right hand.
And keep in mind, even if it didn't, it would have been first and goal.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, though, I think Alabama maybe got away with a hold in the end zone that time by wide receiver Isaiah Horton. There's a little bit of a tug on a block that I don't think the referees caught. Interesting if we could get a chance to see that again.
So that was an 11-play, 61-yard drive. That on 4th down, they go with their dynamic receiver as Connor Talty gets the extra point. The touchdown run by Jeremy Bernard.
Well, it's a great scheme getting Bernard in the backfield. Again, you're just trying to find ways to get him going this way. Keep your eye on Isaiah Horton right here, downfield getting a block, though. Initial block looks good. There was a little tug, I thought, right there with his left hand. Didn't get called. Bama's in. Early touchdown. The gamble pays off. Right now, the Tide rolling early in Tuscaloosa.
ABC College Football is presented by the Starbucks Coffee Company.
Georgia's won 8 straight against Tennessee. That's coming up. And then Florida LSU, which, of course, everybody thinks back to the 2020 game and the shoe toss in that classic 37-34 win by the Tigers. SEC all day on ABC, presented by IHG Hotels and Resorts. Georgia, Tennessee coming up next. And then Saturday Night Football, presented by Capital One. The Gators taking on number 3 LSU. So Bama just had their second longest drive of the season. 11 plays, 59 yards. Bernard had the touchdown run. Wisconsin on offense when we return.
The College Football Playoff begins December 19th and concludes with the National Championship January 19th on ESPN.
Jesse, as we prepped this game all week, it was tough to get these images out of our mind. The bad snaps a week ago by Wisconsin without their starting center.
Well, they've had a lot of injuries up front. So Kerry Kadenko took over against Middle Tennessee, and it was an adventure every time they were in the shotgun formation. And so Jake Renfro back starting. He's not 100%, but I like the call just to get the simple things executed and to do it in a hostile environment.
Yeah, in front of over 100,000. They go with a counter on a short pitch on the inside, as that was Darian Dupree with the carry, but hard to find anything. Gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, Joe, Wisconsin hasn't had any continuity up front on their O-line this year. Their left tackle, Riley Mallman, started the season as a right tackle. Their right tackle, Emerson Mandel, started the season as a right guard. Their right guard's a redshirt freshman. He's only in his second start in the center. We mentioned Renfro not 100%, and it's just really hard to score points consistently if you don't have that chemistry and continuity week in, week out with your 5 best guys up front.
There's Dupree again as he goes ahead for a couple of yards. It'll be 3rd and long.
And so now you're going to get the crowd noise here on 3rd down. And this offensive line with Jake Renfro, he's in there now to make sure everybody gets the pass protection call and everybody's on the same page to try and give Danny O'Neal an opportunity to throw this thing downfield. But this is where the hostile environment becomes a factor.
3rd down for O'Neal. And he gets it complete to Dupree, who came out of the backfield. It's a 1st down, Wisconsin. Wisconsin's 2nd first down of the game.
And I love that, the quick snap that time, catching Alabama off guard. The crowd noise isn't going to be a factor if you just get this thing snapped quickly on the wheel here. Linebacker late, getting to the outside. That was Nakai Hill-Green. He wasn't ready for the snap, and Danny O'Neal held on to it just a tad long, but still able to fit that thing in to Darian Dupree, and they moved the sticks.
12-yard completion from Danny O'Neal. Play action. We'll get it back to Dupree, and Dupree is wrapped up immediately by Deontay Lawson.
Deontay Lawson had that ACL against Oklahoma last year, and we saw him in the first game against Florida State. Didn't always look like he was running full speed. I don't think it was an effort thing for Deontay Lawson. I just don't think he trusts yet that his knee is okay, and they're really hoping they get him back to how he was playing at the first half of last year, because when he is, he's playing at an All-American caliber level.
Coming to the end of the first quarter, Wisconsin's first trip ever to Tuscaloosa. Jeremy Bernard with the 2-yard touchdown run has Bama up 7-zip. The SEC on ABC, presented by Starbucks, returns after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Tuscaloosa, where Deontay Lawson will tell you the Alabama standard deals in accountability. Ever since the Florida State loss, he said players are more comfortable saying what's uncomfortable. Guys have more urgency in the film room. They're speaking up. There's an intensity during the week of practice leading into games. Lawson said he can't just show up on Saturdays and expect to win. Winning comes from Monday through Friday, and there's been a better commitment to these past 2 weeks, guys.
Yeah, Katie, he turned to you yesterday and he said we have to play fast and free, and that's what they do right here as Quay Russaw comes in and tears down Danny O'Neal. Oh, and that's not a good sign at all for Wisconsin. Jake Renfro, who came back from injury because they needed him so desperately with all the bad snap issues, is down.
Well, that was a fantastic effort by Quay Russaw coming off the edges. We get maybe an opportunity to see Renfro going down. That's him just right in front of the quarterback. It just gets rolled up on by Russaw at the end. And again, Renfro wasn't 100% coming into this one. He's just going to use his hands. Watch him slap the arms down of Emerson Mandel, the right tackle. That is textbook fundamentals in pass rushing by Russaw, his 2nd sack. And we talked about the issues Alabama had early this year, not being able to get the pressure they wanted. They already have 2 sacks in this one, and that is very, very bad news now, Joe, for Wisconsin. This offensive line already so banged up, and now a big leader, the veteran presence in Renfro, walking gingerly to the sidelines.
So Kerry Kodonko comes into the game. He started last week. The snapping issues, we showed you that just a few minutes ago. He's a former walk-on who had never really gotten significant playing time until last week, and he struggled snapping the ball, and now playing in front of 100,000 on the road here at Saban Field at Bryant-Denny Stadium.
Yeah, I think Luke Fickell and I think a lot of Wisconsin fans right now, including Danny O'Neill's back there, you're just holding your breath just to get this snap executed.
And oh, by the way, your first play is a 3rd and 14. And the pressure comes straight up the middle, and it's Landon Simmons, the excellent true freshman, their 3rd sack already.
So Kane Womack is trying to run some stunts and twists right on the new center up front, inside and around, to try to get him picked. And that clears the true freshman through. He just absolutely bowls Kerry Kodonko over with just brute force and strength, splits the double team, and gets the 3rd sack for the Tide.
Landon Simmons, excellent true freshman. London's going to have a heck of a career here in Tuscaloosa. This bounces, and then Cole Adams chooses to pick it up, and it's a smart decision as a flag comes down as he surged ahead on the punt return.
During the return, holding return team number 2, 10-yard penalty. It is first down.
Well, we talked about Ty Simpson and sort of the ups and downs against Florida State. I thought he did some really nice things. On 3rd and 11 here, using his eyes to hold the linebacker and safety in the middle of the field, opening up the curl route to Bernard outside, ball out in about 3 seconds. They get the first, but then later in the game, 4th and 7, you got to have awareness, and the pressure is going to force him outside the pocket. Great job showing the athleticism, but you got to know where the first down marker is. You just run, you go pick this thing up. Instead, you try to throw it to Ryan Williams. It's an errant pass, and you miss it. And then we saw an early 4th down today with Lottie Brooks here in the slot. His eyes start there. He gets off it a little bit too early, and there was a touchdown pass to be had. So certainly learning moments again for Ty Simpson.
Play action. Simpson, quick strike, complete to Josh Cuevas.
And that's nice. That time having his eyes in the right place and playing on time. Ball comes out early. He negotiates the defender with the throw. When you've seen Ty Simpson play on time, when his eyes and his feet are together, and he's hitching and getting the ball out quickly, he's looked really good early this year.
2nd and short. He's going to pass again. Pocket breaks down, and he's taken down. And coming up with it is Christian Allegro, who grew up in Darien, Connecticut, was a massive lacrosse recruit, committed to Navy, went to prep school as a post-grad, and has turned into one of the great sleepers.
And Joe, he completely ran Richard Young over. Watch this. 250 pounds, bowls him right over on his way to the quarterback. It's a huge negative play. Richard Young, and you got to pack a lunch. Again, the size and the physicality of Wisconsin's front 7, it's giving Alabama some problems.
That young man's life turned around when he made the decision to go to Avon Old Farms, and lacrosse went away and football became his focus, and he has emerged as a star. Isaiah Horton with the reception.
And it's really impressive too, because to learn to play the position and all the footwork and learning, it's not just see ball, get ball, but
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 22. The defense, 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, first down.
They're going to tag Mason Reiger, the outside backer for Wisconsin.
Yeah, he was running on a loop inside here, and he's just got to be able to pull up. Ty Simpson gets that ball out. That's a huge penalty after 2 really good plays by Wisconsin's defense. The Louisville transfer Reiger can't believe it. Luke Fickell upset about it as well. Bama now all of a sudden on about the 43-yard line after that costly mistake. You know, that was one thing Wisconsin did so great a week ago, Joe, against Middle Tennessee. They didn't have one penalty the entire game. They play very smart, and normally very, very disciplined.
Yeah, clean otherwise beyond the bad snaps that we showed you earlier. And now obviously the penalty here sets up Alabama to be on the march in Wisconsin territory. Simpson off play action, drives the ball downfield, and it's Bernard. Here goes Jeremy. Touchdown, Tide. scored on the ground, and now a 43-yard reception for a score.
And another great example by Ty Simpson that time, playing on time, right? Dropping back, you make the right read, you take a hitch, ball comes out early, throwing it into an open area of the field. And Jeremy Bernard, what can you say about how explosive he is once he has the ball in his hand? Already now his second touchdown of the game.
Now they got Ryan Williams back this week after the concussion, but it's been Jeremy Bernard who's been their most consistent playmaker this season.
And I love this setup here. You're running a clear out, and you're running a clear out, and the guy you're watching is Bernard outside running the end into the open area of the field. Watch Ty Simpson after the fake. 3 steps, hitch, ball's out now. Clean pocket, accurate throw, giving Bernard an opportunity to advance this. I think the biggest positional advantage Bama has in the game is at wide receiver, and it's showing up now. Bama 14-zip early.
Glad you're with us watching the SEC on ABC. Joe Tessitore, Jesse Palmer, Katie George with you. This is the back end of the home and home series with Wisconsin and Alabama. 14-zip, Bama on top thanks to Jeremy Bernard.
Yeah, really impressed with Ty Simpson again on the timing of this last touchdown pass to Jeremy Bernard. When you're throwing these deep in-breaking routes, you got to get it out as quickly as possible and into the hands of your receiver. At the top here, he just did a really good job scanning and coming back and now finding Bernard on the in-break. Just a little tiny hitch, ball comes out quickly, and again, when Ty Simpson is playing on time, good things are happening for Alabama throwing the football early this year.
All right, here's a major story now developing for Wisconsin. That is number 50, Ryan Corey, the redshirt freshman, the third string center. Jake Renfro, who was not 100%, was put into action today because they had such issues with bad snaps a week ago as Jones takes it ahead and gets driven back by Justin Jefferson. They went with Kerry Kadanko, who immediately gave up a sack, and now they're going to the guy that would be the number 3, Ryan Corey.
And so now if you're Jeff Grimes, the play caller for Wisconsin, you got to think about what play calls does my third string center feel comfortable with in the run game and the pass game. You see Jeff Grimes right there. He's having to look at his play sheet and potentially eliminate a lot of stuff that this third string center, Corey, hasn't repped in practice.
2nd and 9, Danny O'Neal pressured again. This time he scrambles and goes ahead, doesn't slide as he was able to avoid the incoming Nakai Hill-Green.
Well, I give him credit. He's only 6 foot tall, 197 pounds, but Danny O'Neal is tough, and he'll put his body on the line. He may have to do it here again. The last couple third downs, Alabama's been pinning their ears back, and they've been getting home. 3 sacks in this game already, and now with Wisconsin, a third string center. You got to make sure everything in the pass protection is communicated. You got to execute this with this crowd noise. This is rough.
3rd and 5, sprint right to get away from the pressure. Throw back against the grain to Mason, and Lance Mason with blockers in front downfield as he had Riley Mahlman, the left tackle, clearing the way.
And that is such a great play call by Jeff Grimes. You're moving the pocket, you're getting him out of harm's way this side, trying to get all the flow on defense going that way as well, and then you go misdirection with the screen back to the tight end. And Lance Mason really is a great tool in this offense. We saw him last week line up in a three-point stance, in slot, receiver, at fullback, all different places.
Dylan Jones goes for a yard.
You're seeing a lot of different stuff here, Joe, in terms of quick snap counts, lots of different formations and misdirection, trying to put Bama on their heels.
Flag is down.
I think Alabama had too many guys on the field.
Tim Barker's going to clean it up for us. Coach DeBoer, second season here. Of course, 9-4 a year ago. And then the opening week loss to Florida State on the road this season.
Illegal substitution on the defense. 12 on the field. 5-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
Well, Jeff Grimes going with a quick count, getting everybody at the line of scrimmage, did not give Alabama an opportunity to substitute. So a nice job by Grimes here on the last 2 play calls. Again, he's having to dig into that play sheet and start thinking, okay, I'm going to have to be a little bit more creative now with the injuries at center to try and find ways to move the football, but they're having success. This is about as good as Wisconsin has looked on a drive here all game.
Jeff Grimes, Wisconsin's 4th OC in the last 5 seasons. 1st and 5 after the penalty. Danny O'Neal back to pass. And he gets it to Jones, and Jones breaks free for a moment. It'll be a gain of 4. Katie?
Yeah, Tess, Wisconsin's using a silent count. The left guard, Joe Brunner, is the signal. When he shoots his right arm out, that tells Ryan Corey Danny O'Neal is ready, and then the snap's on the center. Something Jake Renfro was very comfortable with. He's still in the injury tent, guys.
Well, Katie, Joe Brunner is the only offensive lineman for Wisconsin that started in the same place all 3 games so far. And he's a guy who has a lot of experience. So if there was one guy to handle that mechanism, that's the guy you want doing it. But you're seeing a lot of motion now, and extra offensive linemen now moving pre-snap too. A lot of creative stuff.
2nd and short. This is Yakimelli on the carry. He's going to be close to that line of gains. LT Overton came up with the tackle.
Now that Jeff Grimes is here at Wisconsin, this really is a pro-style offense, especially when it comes to running the ball. Multiple tight ends, fullbacks on the field. You're under center, I formation. They want to possess the football, own the clock, and Joe, they want to wear you down, and not having a ton of success running it early. You see last year in the 12 personnel percentage with multiple tight ends, much different than this year. This looks like offenses you see on Sundays.
Grimes was with Kansas. They were 13th in FBS in rushing. He had been at Baylor earlier. They were top 10 back in 2021 when they went to the Sugar Bowl. Here's Kekahuna on the jet, and Kekahuna takes it inside the 40-yard line. There's a flag down at the 48.
I think it's going to be Joe Brunner, legal hands to the face, knocking the helmet off of a D lineman for Alabama. I think it was LT Overton he was going up against.
Personal foul, hands to the face. Number 56 on the offense. 15-yard penalty. First down. Number 22 may remain in the game for Alabama.
He stays in the game because it was the penalty that caused his helmet to come off for Alabama and Overton. But these costly penalties, Joe, for Wisconsin now on both sides of the ball here recently, they are just killing Wisconsin. Luke Fickell cannot be happy. You just feel like coming into this kind of environment with the injuries you have at quarterback on the offensive line, you're going to have to play as clean a game as possible. No penalties, no turnovers, and they've had issues with both early.
That makes for a 1st and 25 as they shift Dylan Jones back into the backfield. 2nd 15-yard penalty when Wisconsin was driving in Alabama territory. O'Neal, he's scrambling, and he darts out of bounds before the incoming Nakai Hill-Green was after him. James Smith was applying some pressure as well.
What's happening now for Alabama is because you're setting them up in 2nd and 3rd and long, and they're getting that pressure with 3 and 4 guys up front. Kane Wommack, the defensive coordinator, is just playing big zone coverages. He's got 7 guys playing back. You're keeping the football in front of you. You're rallying to it. You're not giving up explosive plays. This is exactly where Bama wants to be defensively.
Second and 21. They go with the reverse. Henry, the end around by Henry. Oh, he took a big hit near midfield from Bray Hubbard, who had the interception earlier today as he finds the tackle on the end around.
I got to tell you, I'm really impressed with the eye discipline that Alabama is playing with against these jets and these reverses. You see Renfro right now on the sideline trying to work to see if he can get back in the game. But remember, in the game we saw, Joe, you, Katie, and I, Florida State gashed Alabama.
Yes.
With jet sweeps, with reverses. Wisconsin's trying to do it, but Bama's not biting on the eye candy. Their players are playing with great eye discipline.
That was classic Gus Malzahn play calling that day. Now what will Jeff Grimes, the play caller for Wisconsin, dial up on 3rd and 18? He'll keep it on the ground with Jones as Jones gets inside the 45-yard line to the 43.
And decision here for Luke Fickell inside the 45-yard line. With the way that you're struggling offensively, looks like they're going to try to play field position and try and pin Alabama deep in their own end. Hopefully get better field position their next time out.
We had a great visit with Luke this week. He said, listen, we need to take some deep breaths in this game. Have to battle, but we know we have to weather a lot on the road here at Alabama. Wow. Oh, great special teams effort right there. That was Jaden Ballard on special teams, coming down and pinning Alabama at about the 2-yard line on what is a gorgeous day here in Tuscaloosa.
ABC College Football, presented by Starbucks, is brought to you by the Sonic Smasher. Buy one, get one free in the Sonic app. Live free, eat Sonic.
Well, you got Richard Todd and all the legends from that 1975 Alabama team. Their 50th reunion, the SEC champs, Sugar Bowl champs. Richard Todd, by the way, was the state shot put champion in high school before he played quarterback.
Unbelievable. You don't hear that very often. 2 words in the same sentence for a quarterback. Right?
How about Brock Lesnar's daughter Maya, the NCAA champion? I mean, is she amazing?
Very far, yes.
So from the 2-yard line, here's Ty Simpson from his end zone as Kevin Riley's going to give them breathing room and a stiff arm and more. Kevin Riley's off to a good start this season.
He really is. The redshirt freshman started 5th on the depth chart at the start of fall camp, but with Jam Miller going down to injury, he just waited his turn and took advantage of his opportunities. He's been their most explosive runner these first 2 games. See the stiff arms from Riley there, only 191 pounds, but just trying to fight the Wisconsin defender off, and he's been giving them some life in this run game. He deserves these opportunities and these chances.
Here's the short pitch. As Riley takes a big hit. Let's check in with Kevin in the studio.
Story on ESPN. Number 12, Clemson, down early again, this time the Georgia Tech bug.
No doubt. So far, the physicality of the Ramblin' Wreck taking it to the Tigers.
Jamal Haynes going in for the score right now. It's Tech up 13-0. We're going to keep an eye on that game. Back to you, Jesse and Katie.
Thank you very much, Kevin. So
where was Joe? Joe's here too, Nagandi.
Haynes game
unbelievable.
Off to a good start.
The disrespect in week 3 early.
I'll let that one slide, Jesse.
All right, Nagandi.
Ty Simpson with the strike to Isaiah Horton.
Isaiah Horton's a guy they want to get going in the offense. Big target at 6'4", transfer from Miami. Only had 1 catch against Florida State, but started making some plays last week against Louisiana Monroe. And we already talked about Jeremy Bernard and Ryan Williams, but if they get the big fella on the outside, they get him rolling in the offense too. This passing game, I think, even goes to the next level.
Third down and 3. Simpson. And he gets it complete to who else but Jeremy Bernard. It's either a first down or a touchdown every time he touches the ball.
It's going to be defensive hold.
Oh, there is a flag
Wisconsin.
down.
It was on Isaiah Horton, we just talked about, on the outside.
Near side 35.
I'll tell you, Ty Simpson is in a rhythm right now. And after going 17 for 17 in their last game, what is he now, 10 of 11 in this one?
Holding on the defense, number 6. 10-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
You know, I mentioned this before we went to break. I think Bama's receivers against Wisconsin DBs, I think, are the biggest positional advantage Alabama has. And I think it's starting to demonstrate itself in this game with Bernard, with Williams, and now we're seeing a little bit with Isaiah Horton. You know, when these two teams played last year, Bama hit 4 big shot plays deep down the field. They've kind of gotten away from running the football, and they're deciding to let Ty Simpson just sling it around.
Simpson on first down. Downfield and wide open is is Ryan Williams.
And another great job by Simpson that time, changing the play at the line of scrimmage. You heard him say, alert, alert. They had a different play called originally. They all got on the same page. You see everyone start like touching their helmets. That means they're all together. They're now going to go play action. And how about the timing by Simpson? Hitch, ball comes out. He rolls it over top of the defender for another accurate throw. You're watching Ty Simpson get more and more confident. Ever since that first game against Florida State, he is growing up right before your eyes.
10 of 11 today. Remember last week, 17 of 17. Play action. Simpson, fleet, feet, tucks and runs, and then is tackled near the line of scrimmage as it was Witt who was able to find him.
Yeah, that's a fantastic job of Witt and his effort there. That time, everything taken away down the field by Wisconsin. So Simpson, his mobility, he can create. But a 250-pound outside linebacker and Aaron Witt, great job getting to the outside and getting Simpson on the ground.
2-minute timeout with Bama up 14-0 here in Tuscaloosa. Just the second time a Big Ten team has ever played on the road at Bryant-Denny Stadium. College football rankings brought to you by Allstate.
I'll tell you, one of the teams that you and I have seen in person that's really impressive is this team right here. Florida
I get
State.
asked about them all the time.
Yeah?
Are they for real? What was that?
Yeah.
What should we think of Florida State?
I think they are for real. I think not just offensively with Castellanos now at quarterback and all the different things they're doing with Gus Malzahn, but defensively.
Yes.
Tony White, their DC, he has done an outstanding job coming over from Nebraska.
So after the 2-minute timeout, second down for Alabama. Ty Simpson has been accurate today, and that continues to the outstanding freshman Lonnie Brooks.
And a really good blitz pickup that time by Daniel Hill on the outside. Agard's coming here on a pressure. He's going to stone that, and that's what gives Simpson time to get his eyes downfield. Through the progression, he's been so accurate throwing over the middle here. This is a big drive for Alabama now. Remember, Joe, Alabama's going to get the ball back first here in the second half. So now in a golden opportunity to get some more points before going in at halftime.
Simpson. Wow. Oh, he remains red hot as he's able to connect with Kevin Riley, his running back.
And he fit that football in between three different defenders. That's how you know Ty Simpson is feeling it right now. Watch this. Little corner route. There are three guys around it for Wisconsin. Going to the redshirt freshman back, Kevin Riley, who has such good hands. It's been such a big part of this passing game so far this year. But the confidence in that guy right there, Joe, it is off the charts right now.
That's him on first down. Remember, 17 for 17, was 18 for his last 18, then had an incompletion. Now 11 completions in a row for Ty Simpson. To the end zone, and add to it, Isaiah Horton. Ty Simpson can't miss. Everybody knows what happened opening week against Florida State. But then Ty Simpson has grown into it, has steadied himself, and is delivering with strikes.
And Isaiah Horton, we were talking about him earlier. He's now starting to warm up in this offense. Tremendous route outside. Crosses the defender's face. It was Ricardo Hallman. Accurate throw. It's a touchdown. The ball's barely hitting the ground. Look at the route up top. Gets the corner just to turn his hips for a split second. He puts that 6'4" frame between the defender and the ball. Everything going Alabama's way.
Bama just had a 98-yard drive, their longest of the season. Isaiah Horton with the touchdown reception. Ty Simpson's second of the day. They're up 21-0. An opportunity to go to studio where, Kev, I know it's all in the moment and there are some guaranteed phrases, and I apologize for Jesse being here for all the wrong reasons.
He's our Golden Bachelor host, okay? We know he likes to stir it up here. Booker McFarland, Kevin Nagani here. Coming up on the State Farm Halftime Report, Clemson on upset alert. The highlights going on right now over on ESPN. And Oregon, slow start for them in Chicago.
No, but how about Dante Moore, a little flip to Jaden Lamar, a little 5-yard touchdown? Kev, I believe even you could have scored on that touchdown.
That would have been very easy for me. Jesse, not so much. Oregon up 10-0 right now. Back to you guys.
And just get ready for the most dramatic halftime report ever.
Renfro is back in at center. Remember, he left the game earlier. They went down to their number 3 center in this first half. Now Renfro's back.
Wisconsin's going to have to regroup here going in at halftime, and they're going to have to figure some stuff out. Down 21-0. Obviously, it feels like they're going to have to throw it around in the second half to have any chance to come back in this one. With all those injuries up front with Renfro, they got to make sure he's okay, but they have to be able to protect Danny O'Neal if they're going to have a shot.
Jake Renfro missed last week's game. Talked about, of course, in a setting like this, having to deal with the silent cadence. You see the statistical measures today as Alabama, 212 total yards to Wisconsin's 59. Ty Simpson looked incredible in that first half. Simpson was 13 of 14, 192 yards and 2 touchdown passes. Katie.
Thanks, Tess. Coach, Ty Simpson seems to be playing with so much confidence. How would you assess his first half?
Yeah, he did a nice job. He's taking care of the football. He's ripping some balls in some windows. Great drive right there by the offense, and obviously it was led by him.
Wisconsin's playing a younger quarterback. What do you like about the pressure your defense is applying?
Yeah, it's good to see. That's something I know we continue to work on and emphasize, and so getting home and getting him down, that's a big deal for us.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
21-0. As we get you to the State Farm Halftime Report with Kevin Nagandi and Anthony Darrell McFarland.
Thank you so much, a.k.a. Booger McFarland, joining us here. 21-0, of course, as he mentioned. And really the storyline is, and Katie talked about it, backup quarterback for Wisconsin and a makeshift line. Third-string center for Wisconsin, and Alabama's taking advantage, something we haven't seen the first 2 weeks.
No doubt. Like, what is Alabama known for? They're known for their defense. Against Florida State and through the first 2 weeks, only 1 sack.
Right
Today
there.
in the first half, Kev, 3 sacks. Wisconsin only has 55 yards total offense, 11 yards rushing. This is a defense that's been all over the field. And when you think Alabama football, you think making the opposing quarterback uncomfortable. They've done a really good job of that in the first half. And this just feels like Alabama football. The offense will come. It's up and down. But when you can play defense this way, this is what the fans in Tuscaloosa are used to.
How important is the game like this, especially in front of that crowd, when you have Georgia in 2 weeks?
No doubt, because we know what Georgia's going to be. They're going to be physical. They're going to play defense. Kirby and Nick, the former Alabama coach, they're cut from the same cloth.
Yeah.
They want defensive football teams. They want physicality, and Alabama's showing that today.
That showdown against the Dogs in 2 weeks on ABC Prime Time. And speaking of the Dogs, we will see them in 2 hours in Neyland Stadium. Checkerboard game, Tennessee, Georgia. We're going to hear from Holly
Rocky
Rowe.
Top.
Live report from Knoxville after this.
We welcome you back to the SEC on ESPN. ABC College Football is presented by Starbucks. Alabama, 21-0. Joe and Jesse with here in Tuscaloosa. Earlier today, Jesse, you made the comment, for Alabama, their best players have to play like they're their best players.
Right.
Ty Simpson has clearly turned into their best player.
Yeah, no one's playing better than Ty Simpson right now. It's been amazing to watch him mature in this game. He's playing with great command. He's playing with poise and confidence. He's ripping the football into some really small windows. So just a week after going 17 for 17, here he is, 13 of 14 with 2 TD passes.
Bringing the heat, brought to you by Sonic Smash.
Well, and he's playing with great timing right now. Here early in the game, doing a nice job getting through the progression. Ball out on the dig route to Bernard in just over 3 seconds. They score on the play. And that last drive before the half, changes the play at the line of scrimmage. Ryan Williams on an out-breaking route again, on time, just over 3 seconds, and it's a pitch and catch. How about this throw into triple coverage for the freshman Kevin Raleigh, who makes a great stab, and they cap it off with Isaiah Horton outside on the slant throw. This is easily the best football Ty Simpson has ever played in his life, and Alabama's got to be loving it.
Flea flicker to open up the second half as Simpson then goes underneath the Williams with blockers in front. So a flea flicker screen, and here goes Hollywood. How about that to start the second half? Razzle dazzle roll Tide. A flea flicker screen, and a flag is down at the end of it.
What a play call by Ryan Grubb right out of the gate. A little trickeration screen back to Ryan Williams. Joe, they had all 5 offensive linemen and the tight end blocking downfield on that play.
The score is a touchdown. Unsportsmanlike conduct, contacting, running into an official. Alabama, number 52 on the will That penalty will be enforced on the kickoff. Touchdown.
Well, it's all just going Ty Simpson's way right now. That's the easiest touchdown pass he'll throw today. Talking to Caden Proctor there, but everything they are dialing up right now is working beautifully in the passing game, and they are not taking their foot off the gas. You always talk about the last 4 minutes and first 4 minutes of halves. How about Alabama closing out the first half with the touchdown? And then the very first play after the kickoff, they go score.
Their longest play from scrimmage this season. An absolutely dynamic play call. Connor Talty adds the extra point.
And you're trying to find ways to get Ryan Williams the football outside. I want you just to keep your eyes focused on these guys in here, because all 6 of them end up out on the perimeter of the field blocking for Ryan Williams. It wasn't like it was one receiver and a tight end and we're just trying to pick some guys off. I mean, all the linemen, all this mess, and they're blocking DBs and linebackers, and nobody in Wisconsin wants that in the back end. They're just pancaking guys, steamrolling guys. Caden Proctor, their left tackle.
The Caden Proctor block downfield is unbelievable.
He's a 366-pound left tackle, and there's Kalen DeBoer thinking, yeah, oh yeah, this looks good. I like it. That's exactly how you want to start the second half.
Ryan Williams, concussed against Florida State, didn't play last week. And here today, 4 catches, 124 yards, and a 75-yard touchdown.
They are featuring him in this offense. His first TD catch. It's that Mercer game last year, but he's a guy who's getting a lot of different looks and a lot of different chances from Ryan Grubb calling plays, and it's paying off.
There's Vinny Anthony on the return for Wisconsin. And it's a good one for Vinny Anthony. The blazing speed, and the Badgers return it.
It's a fantastic effort by Vinny Anthony. Last year against USC, he had a 74-yard kick return. And at a time where you just absolutely had to have it, great job by their go-to receiver, making one move. And nobody from Alabama even touches him, Joe.
A 95-yard kickoff return touchdown. Top-end speed, and he shows it off. Vinny Anthony gets Wisconsin on the scoreboard.
That's a play they absolutely had to have. They got to start throwing his way more on offense too, Joe. You see the offense today and what they were able to basically almost double their production on that one kick return.
Ryan Williams, the 75-yard touchdown to start the second half off the trick play. And then Vinny Anthony, 95 yards. They have 59 total yards of offense. He just went for 95 here. We had 2 touchdowns in 28 seconds to start this second half. Joe, Jesse, and Katie with you here in Tuscaloosa. Can we please go back and see 6'7", 366-pound Caden Proctor?
Ricardo Hallman's worst nightmare just came to reality here. 366 pounds is Proctor, going up against Hallman, who weighs only 190, and he absolutely baptizes him in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And Ryan Williams is off to the races.
Caden Proctor was that far downfield on the razzle-dazzle, flea flicker screen to clean things up.
Joe, he's one of the guys we talked about in our open about being one of their best players that has to play like one of their best players. He gave up 7 pressures week 1 against Florida State, but you're seeing him here today playing a whole lot better, not just pass blocking, but getting downfield.
After the play, personal foul, blindside block, number 36 on the return team. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
And Caden Proctor's a guy, Joe, that at that size, 6'7", 366 pounds, he's so athletic. And for stretches of time, when you watch him on film, he just dominates people. And when you see plays like that, that makes you believe, yeah, he could be a top 10 pick in the NFL draft. The problem is lapses in focus and concentration over stretches of games. They just need him to be more consistent.
There's the guy he protects. You add up last week and this week, he's 31 of 32 for nearly 500 yards and 6 touchdowns. He's had 13 straight completions now, spanning over 2.5 games as Ty Simpson. RPO, and then the short thing right at the line of scrimmage is incomplete as he puts it at Cuevas' feet.
I was just going to say, it's hard to go out on the field with no defenders, routes against air, and put up those kind of numbers. And then here on the RPO swing to Cuevas, you throw it in the ground.
Here's Simpson. And he gets it complete for a first down to Isaiah Horton, who had the touchdown catch earlier today.
It's just another example of the command Ty Simpson is finding in this offense. At the line of scrimmage, changing it here. You see he's looking around. He's looking at the defense. We're going to change up the look. There's a little hand signal, and then you get him onto the pass play. Works through the progression quickly. He just knows where his answers are, Joe, against blitzes. He's checking the football down. He has yet to turn the football over this year. And again, just feeling more and more comfortable in Ryan Grubb's offense.
Play action. Scanning the field, trying to find anything, and now he's going to tuck and run. Makes a move to get a couple extra yards, tackled by Latimer. Katie?
You know, Tess, I asked Ty Simpson, you've been QB1 for a few weeks. Are you enjoying it? He said, I love it. I've waited a long time for this. I understand what comes with this job. You get a lot of praise, but you get most of the blame, too. You have to have Gator-like skin to play this position. He said he's learning that there's no need to press. A check down, just like right there, is okay. The first throw in your progression is okay. He said it comes down to disciplined quarterback play. That's his focus, you guys.
It is, Katie, as he gets it to Cuevas, had the blocker out front.
And, guys, he deserves credit for waiting his turn, too. This was a 5-star guy coming out of high school. And today, if you're a 5-star quarterback and you don't start, you're going in the portal. And there are a lot of quarterbacks out there that are now playing for their 4th different school. He stayed, and he sat 3 years. And all of a sudden, Keelan Russell, the Gatorade National Player of the Year, comes in this offseason. It would have been easy for Simpson to be like, you know what, man, I'm out. I'm not doing this anymore. He stayed, he won the job and competed, and he deserves credit for that.
Keelan Russell came in last week, had a couple touchdowns in that blowout. And Simpson stays alive. Simpson able to get out of all that traffic and then goes ahead for a big chunk play.
There have been a few times early this year, Joe, he's been Houdini. Just finds a way to get out of trouble. You got Tackett, Curtis, and you've got Tyrese Fearbury just bearing down on him from the left side, and somehow he's able to get out. And you know, when against Florida State, he might have tried to throw that to someone. It may have been inaccurate. That time he's like, look, I'm out here. I'm just going to run. I know where the first down marker is. I'm going to get what I can get and take care of myself. Really good decision.
This is such a different quarterback than the one who opened up on the road against now that top 10 Florida State team. Richard Young goes ahead for a yard. You think about his career timeline, Jesse, we were just talking about this. Katie was mentioning it. You're talking about waiting your time. Remember, when he came out of high school, he was a massive recruit, but he came here, of course, to Alabama, and Bryce was around. Had to wait his turn behind Bryce Young. And then there was another guy sitting around this program as well.
Jalen Milroe made so many plays here, throwing in, running, now playing for the Seattle Seahawks. And at the end of the day, Ty Simpson believes his best chance to win a championship, his best chance to play at the next level is here in Alabama, playing for Kalen DeBoer and Ryan Grubb's offense.
Simpson gets it complete to Ryan Williams, who cuts back and scores. What a massive return for Ryan Williams.
And you simply can't coach body control and some of the freakish athletic ability that Ryan Williams has. Do you see that move? Look at this move right here. He just puts Jameer Latimer on skates. Man, his game last year against Georgia is legendary in Alabama football history, and his balance and his body control and his ability to accelerate. But man, having him back on the field for Alabama just takes their explosiveness to a whole other level.
Remember that game against Georgia? He had like one of the plays of the year, and he comes back and has his first 100-plus yard game since that Georgia game. He has 5 catches for 165 yards and 2 touchdowns today.
ABC College Football, presented by Starbucks, is brought to you by Ram Trucks, official sponsor of the College Football Playoff. Nothing stops Ram.
Guy who went viral this year for carrying a T-Rex stuffed animal, Rhino the Dino, into games. Now he's going viral for his play on the field. Ryan Williams, 165 yards and 2 touchdowns. Remember, Vinny Anthony had a kickoff return moments ago? No chance here. You know, ESPN's got the new big deal with WWE, so the thematic today to get into this big battle between the SEC and Big Ten is a little SmackDown. And you think about the top 25, 17 of the teams come from these two conferences. Of course, the playoffs last year, the Big Ten had 4, the SEC had 3. When it comes to national championships during this era, SEC with a 63 edge, Big Ten the last couple of years. You're going to have Cena versus Lesnar next week, Saturday night. We got right. SEC versus Big Ten here today.
I want a ladder match.
Oh, you'd be so good in that role. Here's Dylan Jones with a good effort. So this is now the third main event of the big battle.
Yeah, and the big one,
obviously, SEC.
Week 1 up in Columbus, Ohio State getting the better of Texas in that one. And God, how good did John Mateer look last week? Win at home against Michigan and their talented young quarterback Underwood. And today this one a little bit more lopsided.
Mateer is something, isn't he?
Oh, I think right now, to me, I mean, you know, it's obviously never too early to talk Heisman, but John Mateer is going to be in that discussion.
And now all of a sudden Wisconsin's going to go flea flicker, and it doesn't quite look the same, but it does get completed for a first down to Dylan Jones.
Well, they got to find ways to get explosive plays, Joe, and that's been a big issue for them on offense this year. Coming into this game, only 12 explosives. When you consider one a 10-yard run or a 20-yard throw, they just haven't got it.
The Overton slow to get off the field.
It's really hard for an offense when you have to always go 8 plays, 10 plays, 12 plays to score points. Wisconsin just has not been able to find those chunk plays, and now their offensive coordinator, Jeff Grimes, is trying to manufacture them through some trickeration.
Danny O'Neal has time. He's going to launch it downfield, looking for Anthony, and he can't come up with it. Vinny Anthony, who had the 95-yard kickoff return earlier in this second half, covered by Brown.
And that was a great route that time by Anthony. He had beat Zabian Brown on a double move. Watch this. You got to throw this thing downfield now. And it's grossly underthrown by Danny O'Neal. It allows Zabian Brown to recover, and he's able to knock it away. Vinny Anthony is an outstanding receiver, has very sure hands, but a bad throw allowed Zabian Brown to break that thing up. We just talked about the explosive plays they need, and that was a golden opportunity for one right there.
Timeout is going to be used by Alabama. They were trying to run a man off the field. You saw Rousseau sprinting to the sideline. So a timeout is going to be used by Alabama. Of course, it is a big day still to come. Georgia and Tennessee set for you after this. Holly Rowe will be on that broadcast.
Joe, Jesse, welcome to Knoxville. This is going to be an epic matchup of two unproven quarterbacks. Who can be calm and collected will be the key to this game. Joey Aguilar has been just that. 5 touchdowns, 0 turnovers, but he'll be facing a Georgia defense that is healthy and complete. Now, the Tennessee defense is without key players. Both corners are out and 2 key defensive tackles. We'll see who can stand up the best defensively here in this big matchup.
Thank you, Holly. You got a read on that game, Jess?
Yeah, I'm really interested just to see Gunnar Stockton. I think we're still trying to find out about him. It's his first true road start against an outstanding pass rush from Tennessee. The Vols have 8 sacks this year. And listen, from a guy that's played in Neyland Stadium a couple times, I know how loud and how hostile that place can get. It's going to be real difficult for Georgia's O-line to hear anything. And so I think we're going to learn a lot about Gunnar Stockton in this game.
Well, it's getting really loud here when you get to third downs like this. You also know what it's like to play at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Jesse, you're the last Florida starting quarterback to win here at Bryant-Denny Stadium.
It just makes you feel old. And you should put an asterisk beside that, knowing that Tim Tebow obviously never played here at Bryant-Denny Stadium. But yes, I am old. Thank you.
You're also modest.
You know what I like, Joe? You made a very astute observation earlier. I am also the last Canadian quarterback.
You are the last
to come down to Bryant-Denny Stadium and get a win as well. I'm just trying to find accolades here.
Snap infraction on the offense, number 57. 5-yard penalty. It is third down.
Well, that's against Jake Renfro, and that's not the kind of penalty you're expecting. The reason he's playing through injury and in the game right now is because he's able to get all these kinds of things executed, but just nothing going right up front right now for Wisconsin and this tool together offensive line.
Third down and 8 after the penalty. Pressure off the right side, but he's able to get it free and get the first down, connecting with Lance Mason.
Really nice job by Danny O'Neal on the blitz, knowing where his hot throw is going to be. Keon Sabb is just bearing down on him free. So he doesn't panic. He doesn't take off running. He stays in the pocket, delivers the completion to Mason. Danny O'Neal took a big hit there as well. Good toughness and good decision making by the true sophomore San Diego State transfer.
Lance Mason, by the way, the tight end with a 100-yard game a week ago. Of course, so many great tight ends through the years of Wisconsin. Travis Beckham, Jake Ferguson, Lance Kendricks, Troy Fumagalli. Great tradition of tight end play. This is Henry as he makes his way to the 44.
Tell you, the jet stuff and the reverse stuff is not working against Bama like it did when Florida State was trying it a few weeks ago. That was a great example of Justin Jefferson, Keon Sabb, all these guys playing with their eyes and pursuing the football. And one thing defensive coordinator Kane Womack told us, I just want our guys to pin their ears back and attack. I felt like we were too timid. We were on our heels against Florida State. In this game, I just want us to get after it. And you're seeing them fly around.
Shifting the formation is Danny O'Neal. Play clock is counting down as he quickly gets it out and does so for a first down to Vinny Anthony.
Well, they gave up 230 rushing yards that week 1 game against Florida State. Today, it's a whole different story, and you're seeing guys play more aggressive. It's impressive because you got a nose guard in London Simmons, a true freshman, really at the tip of the spear for this defense. But I also like Kane Womack's dialing up more pressures.
Yeah.
You saw a safety blitz 2 plays ago, a corner blitz on that last one. He normally doesn't blitz very much at all. But there's a more of an aggressive play calling style we're seeing as well.
This time O'Neal keeps it, and it's a good decision as the umpire gets run over at the end of that play right there. At the end of that play, the umpire was run over. That is Jason Yates on this Matt LaFleur.
Yeah, and Vinny Anthony's trying to get a block coming from the left-hand side, and then you got Danny O'Neal. They kind of just converge right on the umpire. Man, you got to get down fast. Danny O'Neal got to that second level quickly. Hasn't happened very often, but not the most graceful fall, but he seems like he's okay. He's up, he's back.
That's Stan Y, by the way. I'm sorry, the official listing of the crew was misprinted for this game.
Wow.
I apologize and hope Stan is all right. Darian Dupree on the carry.
Well, did you see Bray Hubbard just come up and make that stop? Zero hesitation. You talk about flying around, playing aggressive. He's coming from the left of your screen. There's number 18. No hesitation. Hello, Darian Dupree. Bray Hubbard already with an interception early in this game, but he's making his presence felt.
It's about 215 pounds. Plays downhill, big factor, but also in the pass game had an interception earlier today. 2nd and 6. O'Neal with time, and that ball's intercepted by Hubbard. His second. You're just raving about him, and Bray Hubbard now with 2 INTs on the day.
Well, this time Lance Mason, who we've been bragging on as a tight end, he kind of left his quarterback hung out to dry. He's running a corner route, an out-breaking route against Bray Hubbard. And the top of the route, he's got to cross his face, and he's got to protect his throw. This is it right here. This is Hubbard getting the pick. But watch at the top of the route, instead of going in front of him, he decides to try and run a little bit behind him. You can't do that when you're running out-breaking routes to the perimeter. Bray Hubbard gets his second pick, and everything going Alabama's way.
Beautiful day here in Tuscaloosa, and a beautiful scoreboard if you're a Bama supporter, as Ty Simpson has been spectacular playing quarterback today. As this is Dre Washington getting playing time. Remember, this is SEC All Day on ESPN, presented by IHG Hotels and Resorts. Jesse, coming up next, it's Georgia and Tennessee. They've won 8 straight in that series. And then tonight, 7:30 Saturday Night Football, presented by Capital One. Florida, can they bounce back in a spot like this against number 3 LSU?
They've got the talent, I believe, to win that game, but it's going to be tough sledding. I'll tell you, through 2 games, Joe, I have loved LSU's defense.
I know.
Weeks brothers at linebacker, Harold Perkins healthy, the upgrades through the portal in the D-line, and Blake Baker's second year calling plays. They look so good on that side of the ball.
Simpson has looked so good all day, and it continues with Jeremy Bernard as he connects with him there. Remember, Bernard had a touchdown earlier, both on the ground and with a reception.
What a nice job of feeling the pocket here by Simpson. You're going to get pressure from Reiger around the outside. Simpson's got to step up in the pocket. Proctor's trying to ride him upfield. Just gets a piece of him. There's a defender right in Simpson's face, but yet another accurate throw by Ty Simpson. He's able to quicken his feet up and get this thing off and put it right in the face mask of his target.
It was 19 yards, that reception. Simpson sets up the screen to Washington. Blockers in front for Washington as he is past midfield.
You know, Ryan Williams has been going off in this game, but Jeremy Bernard's another guy, to me, who's really been Mr. Consistent for Alabama's offense this year. And he's a guy that played for Kalen DeBoer back at Washington, sat behind Rome Odunze and Jalen Polk and Jalen McMillan, came here to Alabama. He's gone to work. And, Joe, he's got a chance to be a first-round pick at the end of this year. And he's been great catching the ball. He's been great blocking on run plays. You saw him with a rushing touchdown earlier in this game. A lot to love about his game as well.
Leads the team in all receiving stats coming into today, adding to it with his totals so far today. Dre Washington, Texas native, Jeremy Bernard. Here's what he's done against Wisconsin.
Yeah, and it started off early with some easy completions. He's a guy you can move around outside, bring him in the slot. This was the 4th down critical play call early in the game, just using his speed on the handoff to score. This was the dig route he caught on time, increases the defense. I'll tell you, this group of receivers for Alabama now, Ryan Williams, Jeremy Bernard, Isaiah Horton coming on. They've got a lot of good options to throw to. They're going to give defensive coordinators and secondaries headaches this season.
Simpson. Shallow cross, his 20th completion today, and it goes to Horton, and it's another first down. Katie.
Yeah, Tess, Bernard, he has the 1-2, the grit to stick in there and impact this offense in more ways than just catching the football. Bernard said he's not playing for himself. He plays for his teammates to set them up for success. And Kalen DeBoer says Bernard's willingness to block downfield, that inspires other guys. That aspect of his game is a perfect example of what Alabama's standard looks like.
Yeah, Katie, Ryan Grubb, their offensive coordinator, tells that receiving room, you won't play receiver here if you will not block downfield. How good are you when you don't have the football in your hand? Number 5 for Alabama has been awesome.
Well, by the way, an assistant equipment manager apparently as well, as you saw him giving a little help to Horton there. Here's Cuevas, and he gets taken down just at the last second.
I'll tell you,
man, by Fairby.
Joe, you're lucky as a quarterback if you have one guy at receiver that you feel when you need to play, you can look his way, right? But it's not just Ryan Williams. Jeremy Bernard. And we're seeing Isaiah Horton. Lottie Brooks is a really exciting true freshman. Rico Scott's a guy that has some juice to him. If you're Ty Simpson, you literally can drive back and just let the coverage dictate who gets the football, and that is such a luxury to have when you're throwing.
It was the one thing this summer when we were really previewing the season we would talk about. The wide receiver room at Alabama, the wide receiver room at Ohio State, the wide receiver room here in Tuscaloosa. They're just a cut above. Riley with the reception on the backfield.
The quick decision making too, and it's not just them. And then you got Riley coming out of the backfield too. You got weapons everywhere. Cuevas at tight end. It's just so hard, I think, as a defensive coordinator trying to decide who am I taking away, who am I doubling when you look at all this skill on the perimeter of the field for Bama.
This Ty Simpson stat line today, as we come towards the end of this third quarter, it is outrageous how well he is playing from last week into this week. Right now, 22 of 24, 4 touchdown passes, 375 yards. And he's got a free one here, and it is knocked away at the last second by Latimer.
Offside on the defense, number 31. 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
JVR Suggs inside with the movement. Ty Simpson knew he had a free play, and that was a bit of a risky throw as he's trying to throw that thing over top of Jameer Latimer on the outside. But man, as a quarterback, when you fit the football into some of the small windows he has today, you start believing you can just make any throw out there. And I think that's kind of how Ty Simpson's feeling right now. But that's a good example of when to take a calculated risk. You know you have the free play, so let it rip.
Now, who knows? This could be Ty Simpson's last play of his day based on this scoreboard, and 1 second left in the third quarter as he gets it to Edwards, and Edwards breaks free and lowers his shoulders. Alabama has won 83 straight games against unranked opponents at home. Go back to 2008. Number 84 is 15 minutes away. The SEC on ABC is presented by Starbucks. Returns after this message and a word from our ABC stations. For 20 years, Allstate has celebrated every field goal and extra point made at participating universities by donating to the university's athletic scholarship fund, supporting all student athletes. We always thank Allstate for that. The kind of day they like here in Alabama. Stress-free, come out, tailgate early morning, get your breakfast sandwich, and then you got the whole afternoon and night.
To enjoy some great SEC football, too.
Yeah, you got Georgia, Tennessee. You got Florida, LSU.
Tonight.
You got Ty Simpson still on the field here to open up this fourth quarter because they're in the midst of an 8-play, 78-yard drive. You saw Overton headed to the locker room as they want to check on him. Remember, he was slow to get off the field a few minutes ago. Simpson, can he stay red hot? Incomplete, looking for Cuevas.
Kalen DeBoer opting to keep his starting quarterback in the game now here in a red zone situation, and every rep counts for Ty Simpson. He's been playing really, really well, obviously, these last couple of games. But if you're going to survive this gauntlet of a schedule for Alabama, compete for an SEC championship and reach the college football playoff, you need situational football experience. And here an opportunity down in the red zone where it's very hard to throw the football into very, very small windows. Good chance for him.
Here's Jeremy. Trying to reverse field. He goes backwards and he's going to lose yardage.
A really nice effort that time by Wisconsin's defense, just getting number 5 surrounded and continuing to pursue the football. They're obviously way down on the scoreboard here in the fourth quarter, 35-7. But guys still playing with lots of effort. Mike Tressel, their defensive coordinator, has got to be at least pleased with that.
Yeah, Mike just saw Austin Brown make a nice play. The 3rd and goal. Ty Simpson, 382 passing yards, 4 touchdowns. And here's a 3rd and goal.
We've got Williams in the slot here. Again, very close to the line of scrimmage. He's got the entire field he can attack from this position, anywhere he wants to go.
Simpson to the end zone. Oh, that was right on his hands. Ryan Williams nearly had his 3rd touchdown of the afternoon.
And he beat 2 defenders on this post route. And here's what I'll say. The hands and the drops in the middle of the field, that is a question right now for Ryan Williams. Had 3 drops over the middle against Florida State. Ty Simpson hits you in the face with this football. You have to catch it. I think for Ryan Williams right now, I don't know if it's jitters. I don't know what it is, but when he's over the middle of the field, that's where he's having problems, and that's a play he has got to be able to make.
So Simpson would have had his 5th touchdown pass of the day as Talty puts it through. Connor Talty with the 33-yard field goal. ESPN supports the College Football Playoff Foundation's Extra Yard for Teachers. And you take a look at where we are here at Bryant-Denny, and not far away, just 10 miles, is Tuscaloosa County High School in Northport. That's where running back Kevin Riley went to school. So he grows up right here in town, goes to school there. You can see it from our perch. And the College Football Playoff Foundation's Extra Yard for Teachers Week, each year it celebrates great teachers across the country who have inspired so many of us. Nominate a great teacher in your community by visiting cfpfoundation.org. Favorite teacher when you were at St. Pius X High School?
Madame Bonjour.
I'm sorry?
Madame Bonjour. That was her
What
name.
a great name.
Yeah, which literally means Madame Hello.
That's great.
Yeah, she was fantastic. I was in French immersion growing up in Ontario, Maryville Public School.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's right. And it is paying off now in the SEC, boy. Let me just tell you.
No doubt about it. Didn't order the duck confit last night, but I look forward to that later.
No. Find a few good Bordeaux, I'm sure, somewhere here.
Let's go to the studio to Kevin Negandhi. Kev?
Tess over on ESPN after throw. BC, back to you.
Looking forward to that. You got Tennessee, Georgia. You got Florida at LSU as the SEC on ABC continues all day and night. Dupree with the carry.
Real impressed with Alabama's defense and sort of how they've bounced back since that week 1 loss against Florida State. Just watching them, Joey. Think about the expectations they had coming into this year, right? 7 starters back on a unit that's given up just 17 points a game. 4 guys had a chance to go to the draft. They stayed, and it's Kane Womack's 2nd year. Pass rush. This has been the biggest improvement, I think, today. 3 sacks, but there's a lot of expectations for this unit to be one of the best in the nation. They're settling in.
Danny O'Neal. He's going to carry the ball, and he's right near that marker. We do want to mention that LT Overton, the outstanding defensive end for Alabama, did walk off the field, head to the locker room. Remember, he had what they're describing, I believe, as an upper body injury in this second half. So with this score, he can shut down his day.
Well, he's the guy they need, and they thought he could have entered the draft last year. You see here, this is where he got hurt, trying to chase down O'Neal, and just a little bit of friendly fire with Jefferson. You think if he had come out into the draft this past year, he would have been a top 50 pick.
See that shot of Overton walking into the locker room. Simmons just missed O'Neal, and then it's incomplete as he couldn't connect with Chris Brooks. So London Simmons, the true freshman, getting the start at defensive tackle. They just keep reloading the defensive line.
He's going up against the center in Jake Renfro, who's obviously not 100%, but you can see the raw talent that Simmons has. All game, he has just been bull rushing whoever's Wisconsin's got at center right back into the lap of the quarterback, and he's their third string nose guard, so it speaks to the depth Alabama has up front.
They'll go with the up back. That is Aker as he goes ahead on 4th and 1. Jackson Aker, who plays that hybrid tight end fullback position for Wisconsin with the carry.
Well, that's the third time this year they've taken Aker, lined him up at fullback in a short yardage situation, and he's gotten the first down on a dive. Really good job to move the chains. I think if you're Wisconsin right now offensively, obviously lots of question marks with respect to injuries and everything else, but Luke Fickell's looking on, and he's still learning about his guys. He wants to see them compete. He wants to see them finish this game the right way.
O'Neal on first down. And he's going to have to check down, but it was too high for Dupree.
Really nice job by Alabama taking everything away in the back end. I think that has to make you feel better, too, if you're Kalen DeBoer, knowing that the strength of your defense, I think, is still the DBs. 4 starters back from a year ago, and last season they had 17 picks, Joe. So you got guys like Hubbard out there, guys with experience, ball hawks. They can cover man-to-man, they can read the QB's eyes and make tackle in space, and that's critical. So when you look down the schedule, they're going to play Garrett Nussmeier, John Mateer, Lenoir Sellers, etc.
O'Neal's going to dial it up downfield, but it's beyond the reach of Ballard, and Danny O'Neal was taken down hard at the end of that play.
Well, the pass rush right now, unrelenting. It was just after he threw this football. Man, he takes a big shot. That's Isaiah Faga, the redshirt freshman from Phoenix City, Alabama. I mean, Alabama right now has got second and third teamers out there, and these guys are still winning. And for O'Neal, who weighs less than 200 pounds, it's not easy standing in there right now trying to deliver these throws when the defense knows you're going to be throwing it.
Remember, the starter, Billy Edwards, sprained his knee in the opener, and it's been Danny O'Neal who has been put to work by Wisconsin, and he is torn down by Pierre.
It's another stunting game, and this all gets made possible by Deontay Lawson at linebacker. He essentially picks 2 offensive linemen that allows Pierre to get into the backfield unimpeded and make the sack. Lawson's here. He's coming this way. Both of these linemen run with him. And then around comes Pierre. Pierre's the guy that they think is going to give them the juice this year, rushing the passer. You think to years past, Will Anderson, Dallas Turner, Chris Braswell coming off the edge. They need number 42, Pierre, to be a factor.
Bertrams skies this ball down to the 24-yard line. Very good coverage downfield by Wisconsin. It is just a magnificent day here in Tuscaloosa. Sun-kissed and a 38-7 Alabama lead. The Taco Bell Live Más Student Section. Only one student section can claim the title of Live Más Student Section of the Year. Who's going to take home the trophy this year? Reminder, tomorrow's Sunday NFL Countdown gets going at 10 Eastern on ESPN. And you got 2 Monday Night Football games this week. You got Bucks Texans at 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN and ABC. And then it is Chargers Raiders at 10 p.m. on ESPN. Here's Kevin Riley on the carry. So the double dip of Monday Night Football. Both games are available on the all-new enhanced ESPN app. Katie George, you're going to be working that Chargers-Raiders game out in Vegas, aren't you?
Yes, sir. Can't wait. First NFL game. Got any tips?
Are you getting there in time for Canelo versus Crawford tonight?
That's all you.
You need ringside seats, Katie George.
You got them.
Here's the tip. Get on Tessa's private jet.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's not happening anytime soon. There's going to be like a triple connection to get home tonight.
Well, Ty Simpson's still out there now for Alabama, getting more reps. They subbed out, I think, almost their entire offensive line, just trying to give Simpson some looks. You know what I think's interesting, Joe? Obviously, it's early this season. It'd be interesting to compare Ty Simpson to a lot of other quarterbacks in the SEC.
Let's do it.
Through a couple games early this season. Just take a look at what that looks like. I think it would surprise a lot of people.
Of course, so many came into the season with so much fanfare. Nussmeier, of course, we will see tonight with LSU hosting DJ Lagway.
Yep.
Here is Simpson. Wow. Oh, man, there's another drop. This time it's the freshman Brooks. Remember, Ryan Williams dropped a would-be touchdown moments ago, and now he was looking for Lottie Brooks here.
Well, all these guys had a lot of hype coming into this year. Arch Manning's struggles early this season, well documented. Joe, you, Katie, and I saw him last week. DJ Lagway has gotten off to a bit of a slow start, as has Lenora Sellers. And you look over here at Ty Simpson, the kind of season he's having, he's out dueling and outplaying some of these other guys. And Ty Simpson played a really good Florida State defense in week 1 as well. But, you know, it begs the question.
False start on the offense. Now all 11 players got set. 5-yard penalty. It is 4th down.
If Ty Simpson keeps playing like this, then what's the ceiling for Alabama? I think winning an SEC in the college football playoff is absolutely achievable. And I know this was really the big question mark coming into this season.
Alabama's first punt of the day comes with about 9.5 minutes to play in the game as Blake Dowd sends it away. Ty Simpson, nearly 400 yards passing. He's at 382, 4 touchdowns. That guy's played a big role. Jeremy Bernard, 38-7, tied, rolling. How teams don't stay the same, they grow into things. We had a good discussion with Coach DeBoer recently about staying the course, being on point with the messaging that he has put forth right through, and Ty Simpson has bought in since the start. He has improved dramatically since the road loss at Florida State.
Look at this number here. 2nd consecutive game, 80% completions, 3 TD passes. Mac Jones, the only other guy to do it. Pretty good company.
That message has been simply practice with purpose. Be intentional, really intentional with everything they do. Unstoppable performance is presented by Ram Truck.
How good's Bray Hubbard been in the back end here? Interception really early. Remember, that was right after they turned it over on downs. And the hits coming up, defending the run, then getting another interception late. 2 picks for the former high school quarterback. He's counting them off. He has been the back line of defense, and he's really, really leaving his mark early this season, I think, on Bama's defense.
2nd and 4. Wow. And a good run fit that time as Yakimelli is met.
Saw Hubbard that time getting in another big shot.
Yes.
You know, coming up. But just the more reps he gets, and he's getting used to playing the safety position, he's seeing things and playing with reckless abandon. That's my biggest takeaway, I think, defensively. What different from what we saw against Florida State? Guys are just playing aggressive. It's like they're not thinking as much. They're just seeing the ball, they're getting it, they're reacting, they're letting their God-given athletic ability take over.
Now, thinking can slow you down when you're out there. You got to know it, live it, breathe it, understand the scheme, and just play it. And that's what they do here with Aker again. Remember, he had the carry on 4th down earlier as he gets another 1st down. What's up, Katie?
Yeah, Tess, it's looking like after a fantastic afternoon, Ty Simpson's day is done. Austin Mack and Keelan Russell are both getting in some throws here in the team box. Austin Mack looks like he's up next.
Yeah, he's pretty good too, Katie. I mean, he got in the 2nd quarter of their last game against Louisiana Monroe. He threw 2 touchdowns in that one. And, I mean, not a lot of quarterbacks look like Austin Mack. He's 6'6", he's 235 pounds, and he is an absolute cannon for an arm.
That was very intentional last week with Austin Mack. I know a lot of the reporters down here in Alabama tried to make a lot out of it. And look at the way Ty Simpson's played.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. He's thrown, what, 5 incompletions? 2 of them have hit guys right in the face mask, deep down the field. Just a very different demeanor I think we're seeing from Ty Simpson as we go on. And listen, with the defense that they can get, especially if they get healthy with Tim Keenan back and Jamarian Latham back, with all the skill players at receiver for Ty Simpson, if he keeps playing at this level, man, This could be a very, very magical year for Alabama.
2nd and 1 for Danny O'Neal and the Badgers. O'Neal being chased. O'Neal survives it and then lunges ahead for the first down. It was tackled by Keeley.
You know, and for Ty Simpson, going back to him, I mean, the situation is good coming into this offense, right? I mean, you've got a center in Parker Brailsford who is going to get all the protection calls and everything dialed up in front of you. You got a potential top 10 pick, left tackle. You got all this talent at wide receiver that you're seeing today. And you got Ryan Grubb, an outstanding offensive play caller, you know, dialing them up. I mean, it feels like a situation for Ty Simpson is just plug, play, perform. And these last 2 games now, he's doing exactly that.
Then you get the break before you play at Georgia. Danny O'Neal takes it ahead. And remember, Georgia is coming your way against Tennessee. The Vols 2-0, number 15. Josh Heupel is with the fans making the entrance there as that Vol walk takes place at Rocky Top, and then they will be running through the Power T at 3:30 right here on ABC against number 6 Georgia.
Well, they've lost 8 in a row against the Dogs, so they need to turn that around. Joey Aguilar, to me, has got to have a great day throwing against an outstanding and very talented Georgia secondary.
Joey Aguilar, the starting quarterback for Tennessee, with 5 touchdown passes on the year. Oh, that's a good strike to Jaden Ballard. Danny O'Neal to Ballard as he was locked up with Xavier Brown, and Wisconsin with the 41-yard touchdown.
But you haven't called Ballard's name at all so far in this game, and this is just a simple go route, one-on-one with Xavier Brown at the top of the screen. He just beats him with speed. Brown never gets his head turned around to locate the football, and Ballard's able to make the catch. This is a guy, Joe, that was the number 5 ranked receiver coming out of high school. He goes to Ohio State, and you walk into a room, and Garrett Wilson's there. Chris Olave's there. Jackson Smith and Jigba, Emeka Ibuka, Marvin Harrison, and Jeremiah Smith shows up last year. And it's just hard to get on the field. So he comes to Madison to get an opportunity. Great to see him making a play.
And it was an impressive play and a good throw. Guy who started his career at Ohio State. Grew up in the great tradition of Massillon, Ohio. So many great stars have come there through the years, and he's their all-time leader in career receiving yards at that tradition-rich high school. Glad you're with us for this great day of action, watching the SEC on ABC, and it's going to continue with Joey Aguilar, the California kid. He is loving just capturing every moment of what it feels like to play in like a heavyweight clash in this conference. That'll be coming up against Georgia right here on ABC. Let's go to the studio to Kevin. What's up, my man?
Tess, AT&T, keeping fans connected as we take a look. ESPN app, back to you.
That was Haynes King with the 1-yard touchdown run that put Georgia Tech ahead by 7. Austin Mack now playing quarterback for Alabama, as he did a week ago, and A.K. Deer, the true freshman, in the game at running back. All right, let's talk about Austin Mack. Last week, he goes 8 of 10, 80 yards, a couple of touchdowns. Coach DeBoer said everybody wants to make something out of it. It became a story that was bigger than it needs to be, but a good, solid, big-bodied backup to Ty Simpson.
Yeah, I was trying to kind of light a fire under Ty Simpson a little bit, stay competitive, make sure you're paying attention in meetings and practicing good habits, and it certainly worked. But this Austin Mack, man, just when it comes to the physical things, you just don't see a lot of guys like him.
Part of the system at Washington that Ryan Grubb was running, and now here at Alabama, A.K. Deer on the carry. It'll be 3rd and 1.
Yeah, and A.K. Deer is pretty good too. He was the number 2 running back coming out of high school. He's only a true freshman. He ripped off a 56-yard touchdown run against Louisiana Monroe as well. This backfield absolutely loaded with 5-star talent.
Coming up on 4 minutes to play in what has been the kind of day that Alabama wanted to have. And A.K. Deer, a flag is down as he shows you the burst of speed to the outside.
Illegal formation on the offense. 5 or more in the backfield. It's a 5-yard penalty. It is 3rd down.
They're all things Kalen DeBoer is going to keep track of. And obviously all the backup offensive linemen in the game right now. Got to make sure everybody's lined up correctly. And a big part of that, too, is Austin Mack making sure everybody is where they're supposed to be. But even though you're up right now, big on the scoreboard for Kalen DeBoer, they're still holding these guys to a standard. And that had a chance to be a big explosive play. That looked like A.K. Deer was about to break out. So a missed opportunity there for Bama.
Daniel Hill, the big bruising running back, is in. Here's Austin Mack on 3rd and 6 as that was denied and batted away by Wisconsin's Ricardo Holman, who was on the receiving end of Caden Proctor's block of the day downfield earlier.
Well, Bama fans will be happy with this result today, and they will probably be in an okay mood, at least for the next 2 weeks. But, I mean, this thing gets real in 2 weeks when they go on the road and take on Georgia. You see kind of these upcoming games. Remember, Vanderbilt beat them a year ago. You got to go to a top 10, 25 Missouri. Tennessee beat them a year ago as well.
It's so interesting because we had the experience, obviously, of opening up the year with Alabama. And we even started today's broadcast saying, okay, so which team are they? The team that, you know, you didn't like some of the body language down there in that loss at Florida State, but then they come back in a remedy game last week and they look sensational. They look sensational today.
They do. Their best players played really great today. We sort of singled out some guys, and LT Overton getting a sack. Ryan Williams has gone off. Caden Proctor's looked really good. Bray Hubbard in the back end defensively. No one's been better, though, than Ty Simpson throwing the football. And if this keeps up, this is a team that can have a very special year. Joe, I think, though, it also just puts some perspective. Florida State might be really, really good. It's early this year. It's still way too early to make that declaration, but maybe Florida State's the real deal. At the end of the year, you'll look back at that loss early this season and go, actually, really not that bad of a loss. Week 1 and Ty Simpson's first career start.
Here's the quick assessment I think we can give on Florida State. Listen, there may be some stumbles and roadblocks here and there with the Seminoles. The coordinator changes and just Tommy Castellanos at quarterback in terms of what he brings, galvanizing a locker room.
A great fit in that new Gus Malzahn offense. You know, it wasn't one of the splashier quarterback portal moves that everybody talked about, but it's a perfect fit for what they're trying to do.
As Dupree carries it. Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting. Listen, he lost his starting job at BC at the end of last season. By the way, the guy who many thought was going to be Alabama's starting quarterback, Lonergan, is now the starting quarterback at BC. It's like the domino effect of college football. Just
the revolving door. And you know that the guy who never left during his career in Alabama, Ty Simpson, the guy who stayed to compete, waited his turn. Greg McElroy waited his turn for 3 years, won a national championship. Mac Jones waited 3 years himself, won a national championship. Alabama's hoping it's going to be the same thing for Ty Simpson. But when you look at Alabama's schedule as a whole, it is brutal.
Of course, McElroy, the Saban era began with 2009, 2 years into it, the BCS with Greg McElroy leading the way, and then A.J. McCarron and Blake Sims and Coker and Tua, Mac Jones, Bryce Young. We saw Jalen last year, and now Ty Simpson looking to have that starring role. 4 touchdown passes today. 2-minute timeout from here in Tuscaloosa. We will take it home when we return. Big Al celebrating here in Tuscaloosa. Look at this massive crowd that just wants to soak it all in. Nobody's really let that lower bowl all that much down in front of Big Al. With 2 minutes to play in a 38-14 lead. Wisconsin trying to show some fire and grit as Cade Giacomelli takes the carry.
Well, Ty Simpson has been on fire. 4 TD passes in this one. It got started off with Jeremy Bernard, again, playing on time, making good decisions, getting into the right play at the line of scrimmage. The location of these throws has simply been outstanding. This is the easiest touchdown he had all game. The first play of the second half on a screen to Ryan Williams, and Ryan Williams dropped a touchdown pass in the fourth quarter. Otherwise, that would have been 5 TDs for Simpson. Joe, of all the numbers, everything has looked really great. You know what the best thing Ty Simpson's done this year?
What's that?
Not turn the football over yet. And that was a big issue a year ago. As talented as Jalen Milroe was, he had 20 turnovers. So far this year, Ty Simpson taking care of the ball, keeping the offense on schedule. Got to be impressed with what you've seen from number 15 early.
It's exactly what Bama fans want to see. Remove any doubt, any question marks about who is the leader, who can get the ball to these dynamic receivers and put points on the board. There's your answer right there. It is a confident Ty Simpson.
And how important is that confidence now to have these last 2 games after the stumble week 1 against Florida State? Because you're going into the Lions' Den now in 2 weeks at Georgia. You need a confident quarterback if you're going to go on the road and win that game.
Final half minute of our day here as the Wisconsin quarterback Danny O'Neal takes it ahead. Billy Edwards will be returning soon enough. The transfer from Maryland who injured his knee and has been out. Danny O'Neal put himself in a spot here on the road. The shuffled offensive line, the issues they had at center. It is a tough place to win when Bama is playing like this and the crowd is roaring. And just the second Big Ten team to ever play here at Bryant-Denny Stadium. And Alabama has now won 84 straight games against unranked opponents at home, going all the way back to 2008, Jesse.
I think there's a lot to take away from this. If you're Kalen DeBoer in Alabama, getting guys healthy, Ryan Williams obviously a big part of that, but just go back to what we said at the start. Stars have to be stars for Alabama. They have so much NFL talent on this roster. When those guys are playing well, they're a really tough team to beat.
Katie?
Thanks, Tess. Coach DeBoer, a lot to like about today. Your stars showed up. Your defense was aggressive from the jump. What pleased you most?
Yeah, I think the start and just a little bit of adversity early on, and the defense gets the ball back the very next play, and we fed off that, and so little wins throughout the game. I'd like to see us finish a little stronger, so we got to clean those things up.
Ty had a fantastic afternoon. How has he continued to progress as QB1?
Yeah, I think he's really slowed things down, and we had some drops. We could have helped him out even more in the fourth quarter, so he's just really playing within himself. I think he's, going through his read progressions. He's being super disciplined in that way.
We appreciate the time. Congratulations. Ty, you exuded confidence and command all afternoon. What did you think of your play today?
Yeah, I thought I played pretty good. First off, credit to the guys, right? I mean, the O-line did a great job. Running backs ran hard, blocked, tight ends, wide receivers, man, really, really proud of those guys. And, we had a great week of practice and it showed in the game, so I can't thank those guys enough. What's impressed you most about the way your team has responded since week 1? Yeah, we just been so intentional with everything. We kind of, had a team meeting and we, just asked ourselves, looked in the mirror, how are we going to respond? We didn't have a great week 1, but we're going to make sure that, these weeks next to come that we're going to be intentional with everything. We're going to play up to, our type of football. Well, congratulations on the day. Best of luck in 2 weeks. I appreciate that. Thank you. God bless.
He was awesome today. Katie, get yourself to Vegas for Monday Night Football. Play the don't pass and have a nice cold cocktail, will you please? Jesse, great job today. It's coming up next will be Georgia and Tennessee. Our final here, Alabama 38-14 on a day when Ty Simpson went for 382 yards and 4 touchdown passes. Let's get you back to the College Football Scoreboard studio with Kevin.